My wife and I, we lived in Egypt for 4 years, from 1996 to 2000, when I taught at the American University in Cairo. And we lived there with 4 young children. Daniel was the oldest. He was 5 when we arrived and 9 when we left. So he remembers more of Egypt than any of the other kids. He even learned some Arabic while he was there, and he's always wanted to go back. My son Daniel is a junior in college at the University of Notre Dame, and for years he has wanted to go back to Egypt where we used to live. And he had a chance this semester, and on January 20th he flew to Egypt for a semester abroad. About a week after he got there, demonstrations started. As they escalated, the students were advised to stay in their dorm. He sent me a note today about his experience. He said, "I did see some protesters marching in Zamalek and watched a somewhat violent confrontation between protesters and police officers from across the Nile." So Notre Dame decided to pull the students out, and they left yesterday on chartered flights out of Cairo to Istanbul. My son, when he wrote this statement, this is what he said to sum it up. "My experience of the Egyptian Revolution has left me extremely impressed with the Egyptian people, not only with their dedication and bravery in opposing an oppressive regime, but also by their incredible sense of community and the way in which they took care of each other in the face of impending chaos. I leave Egypt hoping for swift success for the revolution and an end to the food shortages which could make the lives of Cairo's poor incredibly painful. I plan on returning to Cairo as soon as circumstances, both mine and Egypt's, allow."
I was born in Egypt. My family decided to come when I was 2. My parents believed there was more opportunities in the States for their daughters. So my parents packed up and they moved to the United States. And I became naturalized when I was 11 years old. It was a great experience. Well, Wofford has a great interim program where students have the opportunity to travel for a month. So I went to Egypt. I'm fluent in Arabic, so I got the chance to utilize that, and I volunteered at a hospital with my sister. She's in medical school, so we both had the chance to see the healthcare system there. And while I was there, I got to see some of the civil unrest in Egypt that it's experiencing today. But I was very worried. The Egyptian government right now is very unstable. I feel for the Egyptians that don't have a way out. This is something that they have to live with and try to stabilize the government so they can have the benefits of being citizens of a great nation. We were very lucky. We didn't know it at the time that it was going to be the last flight out. We just heard when we landed at JFK that it was going to be the last flight out of Egypt. When we arrived at JFK, there was in airports, there's flat screen TVs everywhere with the news on. So I was glued to the TV because this is the first TV I've seen probably in a month. And what it had on there was, Egypt's civil unrest. So that's when I understood the weight of the situation, that this was really a big problem, and I was very lucky to get out when I did before things really became chaotic. That's part of who I am, my culture, my language. I definitely look forward to going back when things have calmed down a bit.
On Tuesday, February 1st, in Cairo, the Army was facilitating a peaceful demonstration against the Mubarak government in Tahrir Square, which is where my offices were. In politics in general, but particularly in the Middle East, and particularly in Egypt, things are not always what they seem. Anything could happen, from a very radical change to a cosmetic change where a lot of things remain the same. How long it takes makes a big difference, because the life of the general population, especially if there are food shortages, the poor of Cairo will be at a great disadvantage.